I like tankers, tippers, I like all lorries, but the tipper trailers, they're quite fascinating. I like them. Even when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I always used to watch the tippers and that when they were working. If I got a chance, if I saw one, I would go over to it and have a look at them. It was fascinating lorries and that when I was growing up in the 80s, but yeah, fascinating machines. It's the shape of them as well, you know, it's got a kind of, it's quite intimidating looking actually. That's what makes it all the more fascinating. It's just quite powerful looking, you know, and the size of it and the shape and all the interesting parts and the smells, the brake smells and the oil smells, and all that was more noticeable back then in the 80s because the emissions weren't quite as strict. Well, they were strict, they were always strict. Emissions were always strict, but today, nowadays, it's just, you know, really strict. But I remember all the smells and that, you know, the diesel fumes, the oil fumes, and it was fascinating stuff, you know. I just picture be back in the zone. I remember one sitting, I remember loads, I always used to go over to them and ask the driver if we had questions about them and have a look at them, and I always used to ask my dad about them as well when we passed them. My dad overtook a lorry, I would always put my head next to the window to hear the engine as we passed it, you know, hear this big deep grunt of an engine. But the modern trucks nowadays are pretty quiet. You could barely hear them. I mean, they're all silenced and AdBlue systems. They've utilised the exhaust note, the energy and exhaust gases to power a big, large variable turbocharger and everything. And all the engines are all refined to the point where they're so quiet and smooth. Still quite deep like the big modern trucks, but not like the way the old ones were. I used to hear the old ones when you could see them. Like a really big, bassy, low-pitched sound, which I really enjoyed hearing. But these lorries will do that because they're you know, straight, just the silencer, no any additives and emissions. Well, there is emissions, but not as strict as they are nowadays. So there's another 80C Mercury, L-Reg, 1971, 72. I was at 72, 73 actually, L-Reg. It was a G-Reg, 60s, late 60s. ERF. See, this is good because I missed the Truck Fest. They usually have Truck Fest at Ingliston near Edinburgh, but it always lands in my weekend on when I'm working. I've not been to a Truck Fest for ages. So now that I get an opportunity, there's a few trucks here at this event, so I'm taking the opportunity to have a good look at them because I missed the Truck Fest. Is like the biggest, one of the biggest truck shows in the country, and Edinburgh Ingliston is usually hosted there. But it always lands on the weekend on, so I keep missing it. What is American Police Square? That was at the La Famine as well, I think. Yeah, he remembers this for the last time. Yeah, that's quite smart actually. They're fair size. I think of one of the scariest police chases when I hear that American show that comes on. It was on I think it was ITV4 or something. World's Wildest Police Chases, and that's what that came to mind. That's the type of cars they use with the big bumpers on them. So nice view of the fire engines. Dennis. From down here actually, there's a Scania coming down.
حضر يا رماشي.
Obviously got its microphone on. X-Reg, year 2000. So that must have been the emergency services parading on the arena. There's a nice big truck. I'm going to have a look at this. Look at the truck, but then I saw this, so I think I'm going to get here for Because when this big generator starts, it is really impressive. So I was about to have a look at that. I'm going to have a look at that in a minute or two actually, but I spotted this generator. This sounds brilliant. Sounds absolutely brilliant when it's switching on. It's quite a machine. I saw this last at Glam's Extravaganza motor show, and it's really impressive, very impressive. It's quite an interesting, quite scary looking design. It's quite intimidating just looking at the height of these. It looks quite eerie actually. You know, it's got a kind of eerie look about them, the way the gauges are, and just something about it. It's got a sort of, I don't know, it's quite it's sort of eerie, scary, like, you know, powerful. It's just the shapes and it's like it's got an expression on it. When you hear it switch on, I can't wait to hear this switching on. Like, but yeah, that looks really smart as well. Yeah, that's the generator. That's the actual bit that produces the electricity. Spins a magnet. Spins a magnet within a coil. Big engine will obviously pull it up. The other generator, well, it's quite something anyway. There's a wee bit about it. So I'm going to get to the arena. These are going all into it. You'll just see it from here. So I can't really display them actually. So like I said, that's an 8x4. 8 wheels. The last two drive axles. The last two axles are driving axles. 6x2. 6 wheels. The middle axles are drive axles. So it's 6 wheels by 2 of which are driving. And then this very small lightweight truck, probably half ton or something maximum weight. Seems like it's a air-cooled 2-cylinder engine. So this is a really impressive truck. Nice DAF truck. Very powerful, cool looking. The modern trucks though are all highly emissions. You've got all the emissions, emission controls. Have AdBlue, that'll be the AdBlue tank somewhere. That's an exhaust treatment. So it won't be quite as loud as the old ones. But it'll have a lot of power. There's 2 big chimney stacks, 2 big exhaust stacks. You can see where it comes out in the V. Oh, I would still like to hear it though. But yeah, very impressive. Lots of chrome, tidy machine. Lots of covers though, which hide all the bits, you know, the driveline components, which I like to see. But these covers help the driver stand on the unit while he's connecting up these SUSI lines. What was mentioned, and these are SUSI lines. So it's air lines, air lines for the brakes and suspension, because it's the air brakes on the lorry. Electrical lines for the electrical circuits for, you know, various things, lights in particular, and sensors or whatever else. But that's basically how it connects up. And of course, mechanically it connects up with the big heavy-duty 5th wheel. That's the turning point, so it just reverses the lorry skillfully onto where the trailer pivots on, and that pivot locks the trailer onto the back of the lorry. So there is quite a lot actually, and this is quite a big show. I didn't realise just how far it stretched back. I haven't even covered the fraction yet. It's an old trailer by the looks of it. But anyway, I'm going to press on and have a look around the rest of the things. I will have to remember to get back for 2 o'clock to hear that generator start. I'd love to hear that going again. And there's old cars up there, Dodge Charger I think. Saw that earlier this year as well. So yeah, it stretches quite a bit actually. So we've got a lot of ground to cover. An example of a 4x4 lorry. The steering axle in the front also transmits power, so it's a 4x4. And you can see how it's arranged. That's the transfer box. Differential on the front, differential gearbox on the rear, and that's front wheel and rear wheel drive. The steering axle actually having power applied to it, which is, because it's an off-roader vehicle, big ground clearance as well. Steering is like such, and I think if one wheel, there's a bar that goes right across and pulls the other way. to steer the other wheel, and the steering box is just above it, I think. Steering box is about there, I think. And then that, can't remember what it's called, it's Anchorman steering or something. I'm not quite 100% sure, but it's something like that of the buses, similar. Anchorman steering. That's a big ball joint each side to allow the wheel to turn, and it transmits torque as well because it's four-wheel drive. But it's sort of like thinking why it isn't a CV joint. You know, how does it actually do that? Is it a CV joint or not? I'll figure that one out. I thought it might have been the CV joints required for that. But different design anyway. I know that cars have CV joints for the steering axles. Oh, there's a nice view of the police cars, the American ones. You'll go and get that free as well as they come down. It's just the same drill with the fire engines coming down as well. Just doing a display. Greenock. Oh, aye. Packard.
Oh my goodness. Exactly.
So this engine's got this, I think it's the sump that's off it. Actually, I'm not actually too sure just what's going on, but I know that the bottom half's got to be off. That's the bottom of the cylinders. It's kind of unusual engines. It's not a boxer engine or something side. So different design anyway. Look into that later actually. This will be the closed one. Oh look, it's got a bit about it. An unusual setup because we've got pistons got the sides going inwards. It's maybe the opposite of a boxer engine. I'm not very sure how this engine works. Well, it's an unusual configuration. Yeah, I might have to check back on that and find out just a bit more about that. It's kind of baffled me. It's not quite as straightforward as I thought. It's a slightly different design. But I'm going to press on a bit because I want to, well, a lot to get on to cover. So yeah, I'll probably come back to that later on. But yeah, very interesting. Very different concept. It's still an internal combustion engine, but it's just a different sort of configuration. Yeah. Like a Delta engine or something on a train, it's a different configuration. Boxer engine on a Subaru Impreza, that pistons are facing out the way, but they're at flat angles, horizontal. Two facing one way, two facing the opposite way in the horizontal plane, hence the name boxer engine, because the pistons are effectively acting like boxers, throwing punches, because it's, I think that's how they nicknamed it, the boxer engine anyway, in the Subaru Impreza. But on that design there, that engine on that trailer, it looked like it was the opposite way around to a boxer engine. But yeah, I'm actually glad there's a good turnout of trucks because, like I say, I missed the truck fest. I always seem to miss the truck fest. There's very occasionally I get to truck fest, and it's quite expensive actually. Truck fest. Well, it's let's say it's not the cheapest place I've been to, but it's a massive show and there's a lot of entertainment, a very interesting show to go to the Truck Fest. I would like to have managed, but it's a very busy event, a very big event. But this is sort of a wee substitute because I've been missing Truck Fest and I'm getting to see lots of lorries here today. So I'm just heading up towards the bus again. Just want to go there for a moment and just continue on going round. The bagpipes playing in the arena. So yeah, there's another two buses parked alongside ours. And there's a crane lorry. I'll be carrying a ton of cement or gravel or something in that bag up there. I'll carry more than a ton, and sure, I'll probably carry 3 tons or something in that big crane. So yeah, there we go. There's both buses, 3 buses. There's an old Leyland and a Lothian single decker. And Volvo Elisa Mark II Alexander AV type body. So this is some machine, this Peterbilt truck with big Caterpillar engine in it, custom built though I presume. I think maybe not custom built, but it's a special type of like a touring type lorry. Like what the carnivals will use, because it's got a big accommodation. It's a stretched sort of trailer, stretched chassis. It's really long. I mean, it's not like your standard tractor units. It's probably about a good 20 feet long. My mate was showing me this. He was walking down the length of it and he calculated it to be roughly about 20 feet long, which is long for a tractor unit. But that would be accommodated this big sleeper bit at the back. This is like accommodation. It's all chrome plated and everything. It's all custom like I think. So like I was saying earlier about the trucks, this is the 6x4. The 2 rear axles are drive axles. So there's a differential, there's air sac suspension as well, but there's a differential gearbox on that axle. Then there's another differential gearbox in this one. Between the two you've got this intermediate, well, that'll be the prop shaft from the engine, transmission. It's just can't see because it's got the covers at the moment, but 2-piece prop shaft. Big huge fuel tank, It'll be a touring. It's got big accommodation on the back, so it'll be like for touring over America, big United States. You know, you'd probably travel about 1,000 miles or something on one tank, maybe more. Yeah, it's quite impressive. It's a fair old size, yeah. Big accommodation at the back. Really smart, like. Cost a bob or two, so to speak. It won't be cheap to buy one of these custom made. There's actually a fuel tank on this side as well. Jeez, probably travel half the planet on the size of the tanks. But there's a bit of the sort of special big massive turbocharger on this side. That's the exhaust gases come out there. So basically the exhaust system, the exhaust gases go through, drive this part of the turbine, which is a shaft between them, and there's another propeller there on this side of the turbine which sucks the air in from the front, the clean air from the air filter. Gets compressed, goes to the intercooler, the air will come out the intercooler and then it will go into the engine to get burned with the diesel. So combustion needs fuel, air and heat. The heat is generated from the compression of the pistons when it compresses the air in the cylinder. High compression engine. I've got a couple of pictures of this as well. But yeah, really smart. Very impressive, very impressive. A few pictures. It's a very deep engine, you can see the height of it. Big torquey engine, that. Don't know what the cubic capacity is, I don't know what the size is. I'm going to guess it's probably a 16 litre engine or something. Maybe more. Maybe a specialist engine. It might even be, I don't know, maybe even 18 litre. Jesus, huge. If it's, I don't know where the driver is. I'd ask him if I don't know where they are, but I'm going to take a wild guess. It's something that size, probably a good 15, 16, maybe even might even be up to 20 litre engine. Pretty big anyway. Huge. There's a radiator intercooler system. They've got a compressor for the, you've got air conditioning, so the condensers at the front. It's like a big refrigerator. Then you've got the intercooler for the engine and the cooling pack, and then at this end you've got the radiator for the actual radiator coolant to go through. Generator, alternator, so your belts, might be the air compressor or something, or it might be hydraulic, actually might be hydraulic pump for the power steering, etc. Or anything else that's on power steering that you require hydraulic fluid. This is the air compressor. That's for the air brakes and air suspension. That's the steering box, that will be the steering column, steering shaft that goes down the steering box, which does Anchorman steering, which this turns this wheel, which pulls this reacting force on that shaft, which pulls the other wheel in the opposite side. I think it's called Anchorman steering or something. No, I can't really see it. Oh, is that generator starting? I forgot about the generator. Damn. It started at 2 o'clock. I was too busy doing something else. It slipped my mind, unfortunately, that big massive generator. I did hear it on McGlam's video. I did see it at Glam's, but I've done a video, so if you look at my Glam's video, it'll be in that. But yeah, can't really see any telltale signs what size of engine it is. I'm going to say it's probably at least 16 litre anyway. Stainless steel tank on each side, and stainless steel exhaust stacks, silencers on each side as well. And for the inside, so yeah, I was really impressed with it. I did miss that generator too. It started at 2 o'clock. I was sidetracked. It totally slipped my mind. But like I said, I've done a video on that for the Glams video, the Glam's Motor Extravaganza for the August 2024 event. I done 3-part video. I can't remember what part it was in, but you'll see it. If you watch all the parts, it's in one of them parts anyway. That big massive generator. There's footage of it starting up, and it sounded brilliant, absolutely amazing sound. But I'll have a steer. If I walk past it and there's another sign, there might be time for it. There might be another time each start up. I'll try and get to that. Anyway, I'm going to continue on looking around the place. Before I do, I'll just have another wee look at this again. It's just really, really impressive machine. So, as a lot of people want to get the pictures taken next to it, so I was kind of like there for quite a bit. I can't remember what way I was going to go now. I'll figure it out now. So it's just quite a few things on there. The Dundee Transport Museum. They've got a nice collection of cars as well.
pretty sure heading for Dundee. Yeah, we'll start all the traffic lights. Never came to Everton. I think it won as I've learned, at that stage, the bodywork, it's held me up for a couple of years on and off because it's the
So we thought I could find it, it's like, and this is what I want to know.
finding the
The myth, and they could get any.
Looking at the registration, NSP. It's very like that at the Mark 1 Volvo Elsa buses. The Dundee had the NSP badge, like NSP 312R to NSP 341R, fleet numbers 112 or 141. The first five were LAS badge, that's P regis. But when I saw the NSP, that just reminded me of the Mark 1 Volvo Elsas that Dundee had, the double decker buses. It was just the NSP bit. And the R veg as well. Well, this is obviously 71 R, different. But 4 letters are identical.